Hello ladies, I am delighted to be here today at CTIA on Mobile Commerce Keynote Day, and before we begin, of course, I'd like to introduce you to the whole of the show right now, but can you please just introduce yourself for me?
Happy to do that. So hi, I'm Charlotte Forrest. I'm Vice President of Sales at mBlox. I've been in this industry for about 10 years, running sales and account management team across the US and Europe. And mBlox is a mobile consumer interaction and payment expert, and we power mobile commerce globally. And we do this by enabling our brands to interact and transact with the consumer across the verticals.
Oh, fabulous. So you're an aggregator.
Yes.
And Desiree?
Yes, good morning.
Good morning.
Thanks for having us here.
You are a developer.
Yes, correct. I work for Persistent Systems, and we are experts in software development. We're very good in mobility, cloud computing, collaboration, and analytics. And my role is corporate development, so M&A and partnerships. And what I wanted to say is that I look forward to being in this panel.
Okay, fabulous. And please, at the end there.
I'm Heather Carlisle.
Hello, Heather.
And hello. And I am with Mobile Posse. I'm in charge of consumer experience. And carriers use us as a way to reach their consumers on their mobile devices on the home screen. And we deliver content, mobile advertising, and CRM messaging.
Okay, fabulous, fabulous. So I just want to start today just with some easy questions, getting us into mobile commerce. So what are the major trends in mobile commerce at the moment? Would you like to start?
Yeah, I would love to. I think that's a great question. I think the adaptation with smartphone and the smartphone sort of becoming your lifestyle remote control, and that together with that is no longer as demographic, thank you.
Yeah.
And psychographic, but also geographic. Now we know where you are today, where you were yesterday, and maybe even where you are tomorrow. So that's really gives brands a powerful tool to create a one-to-one engagement with the consumer.
Okay, fabulous. And do you agree?
Yes, I would add to that obviously the social aspect of things cannot be avoided, right? I think we're going to see the model of the Tupperware, where I'm going to promote the brand with my peers in certain way or fashion. I think that's going to be really big.
Okay.
And I think that because it's a device that the consumers always have with them, that it's become a more important tool for the consumer in all of their shopping experiences. So a lot of research is being done, purchasing some, not as much, but a lot of the real research that's being done while users are even in stores, price comparisons are being done through mobile today.
So I love mobile commerce, but there must be some challenges as well, because it's big, but it's not that big. What are the major challenges? Maybe I'll just start at the end with Heather, and we can go down.
Yeah. In mobile in general today, we still have the challenge of no real standardization across the devices. There's so many different devices that consumers are embracing, and as a company that is providing services in this industry, it can be a real challenge. It's also a big challenge for advertisers and people who are looking to participate in the mobile business to figure out where to start.
And Desiree, are you developing a lot of mobile commerce solutions?
Yes, definitely. We work with not only consumers but also enterprises, because now the consumers are so spoiled with all the devices that they're asking their corporations to also transform that way. So we see a lot on both ends.
Okay, Charlotte?
Yeah, I would really like to add to that. So if you think about the lifetime of an app, it's between 5 and 25 days. It's the brands need to think about how to engage their consumer, not just during one day, during one event, but to create a long-term engagement with the customer. I think that's really the challenge, and that's something we have to work with.
Okay, so I didn't realize that 5 to 25 days, is that like a fact or something? Because I've got Angry Birds, it's been on their years already, it seems like, and stuff like that. But
so I think Angry Bird is a great example of a very engaging game that the kids keep coming back to again and again and again. And I think in the same way as Angry Birds continue to attract the kids and they want to go back to that game, and that's how we have to think about mobile marketing, to create a one-to-one consumer experience where our customers want to come back.
Okay, that's a really good point, moving us onto mobile marketing. Are there any major campaigns in America right now for mobile marketing? Desiree?
Well, in America I haven't seen any major deployments, but in Korea and Japan they're always ahead. And there's Tesco who has kind of taken over a whole subway station and replicated their store.
Tesco,
so that the British
Tesco.
The British Tesco in Korea.
Yeah.
And basically people are while they're waiting for their subway, they're scanning what they want to purchase and have that delivered to their home. So
but where are they scanning it?
Just on the wall. If it's a display that it's really recreating the environment of the store, so it kind of
so you feel like you're in the store, but you're in a subway,
right?
But that's really neat,
and it's so convenient, right? You just get it delivered home. You don't even have to go to the store afterwards. So it's an idea of making very close to your consumer, being really there when you have some time to spare and be able to provide the service in the end, right? So.
Okay, fabulous. And what about mobile Posse and mobile marketing?
I think that we certainly have brands who are coming back again and again to reach out to the consumers. Some very major consumer brands have been with us, as well as automotive brands. But I think some of the big challenges is still getting mobile integrated into the entire marketing process, so that it's not just a one-time campaign or a one-time event that's being addressed, but it's an ongoing discussion with the consumer.
Okay, fabulous. But maybe what are the marketing challenges, or what do you think is going to happen? What do we need to happen in the next 3 years for mobile marketing to take off? Maybe in the USA? Who would like to start? Charlotte?
Okay, so I think if we look at the next 3 years, I think our companies, our brands will start taking a more of a 360 view of marketing.
We hope.
We hope, yeah. We hope. And that means, using different tools to engage with the customers, and not, we are no longer mass marketing to reach the best return on investment. That's a lot of waste. We want to create that one-to-one consumer engagement. And I think in the same way as brands today are engaging with their consumers on Facebook, that's what's going to happen on the mobile device as well.
Okay.
I'd like to add something, because what she's mentioning is is the holy grail of the marketer, right? Really get to the person, getting information. So tons of analytics are going to be put at work, hopefully in the right way, to really be relevant and timely, but not intrusive, which is one of the things that brands need to be very wary of, is not to kind of just download data. I think you had mentioned that you don't want to be just sending stuff if it's not relevant to the consumer. So you really need to be very smart as well.
Isn't profiling what it's all about, mobile marketing?
No, it's not just profiling, but also be relevant. Kind of what's your need of the day at the moment where you're doing something.
Heather, do you agree?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of testing going on, and I think what the testing is doing today is helping marketers determine where they need to go in the future. There's a lot of work that's being done to develop the demographic as well as the information about what consumers are doing, so that down the road the brands, the agencies are going to be able to better connect directly with users with more relevant, personalized messaging.
And how will that work?
To the consumer?
For the brand and agency.
The brand and agency?
Yeah.
Well, I think they're going to have to tailor their messaging in a much more structured way to be able to reach Joe and Joanne, consumer, in ways that are relevant to them, because the device is so personalized to the user. Just having blasts of generic messaging is not going to be something that consumers are going to stand for very long.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with that. But I did have something to say about that, because we all say about personalization on the phone and everything, but I told you my kids, my husband, you know, Tom and Jerry next door, you know, always like to come and play on our iPad and all that kind of stuff. How can you personalize when like 6 people use an iPad or an iPhone?
Analytics, you know, the behavior, you know, if it's Angry Birds, maybe it is maybe a certain population. If it's and also time of the day, you know, that's really relevant information. You know who is going to be, you know,
So
necessarily.
like the kids
It's
use
probably
it
after school, right? During the day,
Yeah.
right? So that's certainly very important.
Nighttime, it's
Yeah, so there's lots of, you know, but again, so the analytics are going to be important, and we're coming back to marketing 101, which is who are you trying to target, and what are you trying to deliver as value for your consumer. So that's going to be really important.
Okay, and do you agree, Charlotte?
I do, and I think it's. I'm not sure if it's off topic, but I think really looking at the mobile phone, the mobile device, and even if your kids are using your iPad to play the games, you're probably going to be the one that reads the text messages on your phone. And just throw out some stats there. So 95% of all mobile messages are read, and 60% of them are read within the first 5 minutes. And looking at mobile coupons, for example, 30 to 40% of all mobile coupons are redeemed, and that's like 3 times more than online coupons. So maybe even if your kids are using your iPad to play games, you're probably going to be the one that is answering the phone, using the phone, and shopping with the phone. So that is a great device and a great tool for mobile marketing.
No, I completely agree. But it's just talking about marketing. One of the things that my children have started to read now, absolutely love, and it makes them play a game over again, is a game called Talking Tom. And it's a cat that scratches the screen of the iPhone, and it sends you messages periodically saying, "Do you miss me?" And my son was over the moon. He's like, "Oh my God, Talking Tom! He asked me if I missed him. I have to play him." And I just thought, "Oh,
That's so engaging, right?
You know, can I just turn that bit off?" You know, he's like, "No, I have to go back because he's asking for me." But it's a kind of like family way of getting engagement.
It is. But so the brands need to be very careful not to get into a zone where, you know, maybe you end up with a horrible bill because your kid is, you know, SMSing and you don't have the right plan. So that's really a no-no for a brand not to be aware of, you know, how that is being, you know, kind of carried in the payment, you know, value
Aren't
chain.
these sneaky ways the best ways for mobile marketing right now?
So
Heather?
Yes, I mean, I think that there are some very clever ways of reaching out to users today, and but one of the things that we've realized along the way, it's really important to give users the control. The services we provide an opt-in for the user so that they receive the messages that they get, and I think the other part is that making sure that there are ways for you to control the experience and turn things off if that you don't want that kind of experience.
Right. Yeah,
Otherwise, we're going to be in trouble.
Yeah, well, that's what you know. When we develop applications for our customers, you know, there are certain things that are being taken care of, which, you know, really understanding how you can give that control to the user.
Yeah, and I would like to add to that, because I think for a brand it's really about building loyalty, being transparent, and by giving end user a bad experience, that's not
And
correct.
you can go all the way.
Is advertising on a mobile device in general a good experience for mobile viewers?
I think you have to ask different viewers. Different viewers view it different ways, but I think the more that we work as an industry to target the messaging and interact with the users. I mean, we have an ability to survey our users to get additional information so that we can do a better job at really reaching out to them, as well as using the behavioral information that we can collect about users, as well as geo-targeting. Geo-targeting is a great thing. If I can get a 50-cent coupon off of a latte at Starbucks as I'm walking down the street towards Starbucks, that can become a very positive experience for me as a user.
But has that ever happened to any of you?
Not with Starbucks, but yes, you know, and that also the stats kind of reminded me that there's a lot of people when they are shopping, they do check prices and so forth, and that's when the relevancy of the coupon is very, very high. Obviously, you know, there's a trade-off for a brand if the consumer was already going to buy it, so why give them a coupon, right? But it will be happening as you search for it, and I think as we go along and we, you know, the brands and the and the tools, the analytics, etc., allow that to happen, we will be able to provide it more, kind of seamlessly, hopefully.
And I think since it's about creating one-to-one consumer experience, as we have talked about before, it's about how do you want to be engaged with the brand. This is the time where we can ask them, because there are a lot of different mediums that we can use, and if you have someone that wants to engage over the phone, that's fantastic, that's great, because we now have the analytics, we have the tools, we have the geofencing, location-based services, we have the mobile wallet, whatever, so and we can engage and create better one-to-one consumer experience.
Okay, just putting a spanner in the works here. We have all these fantastic services. What's wrong? Where are they? We have the one or two brilliant examples, Tesco or something, but the Google Wallet, great example of payment, but there's something missing. Is it that the brands and agencies aren't buying into mobile marketing? What's missing from this equation, Heather?
I think it is, we're still in a testing phase. I think that brands and agencies some of them are becoming more aggressive in what they're doing. Some of them are testing some very outlandish kind of ideas to find the parameters of what will work for their brand with their consumers. And I think we'll see over time, it's going to get more to our ideal of walking by Starbucks and getting a coupon, but I think that today it hasn't become as mainstream into the brand's marketing mix as we think it should, and it will eventually.
Okay.
Obviously, the complexity of the ecosystem, because it's not just the interaction, or it's the payment, it's the other pieces of making it happen is still nascent, and it hopefully will take. It's like what happened with online, right? So it does take time for. Some people want to dominate certain pieces, and just from an M&A perspective, obviously you see, people trying to be at the center of, the payment, or at the center of the distribution, the ad networks, all that stuff. And right now those things are forming, and that's why there's not, kind of enough critical mass to make it one solution that, seamlessly allow you to do things. So it will happen, but the question is when.
Okay, and when?
That's my question.
So I think it's definitely coming, and it's showing the brands that there is an ROI. So I think we need to start building up business cases, and with the analytics that we're having or getting today, I think maybe in a few years we'll see everyone doing mobile advertisement campaigns.
One thing I can say though is that it's going to happen, and it has to happen. Otherwise you're out, you're going to miss a whole generation. If you're a brand and you don't do it, you are going to miss a huge amount of audience going forward.
Okay, so I think I agree with that, but if we look at another way, is getting into mobile still, is it cost? Is cost the biggest factor here that's hindering people getting into mobile?
I think it's knowledge.
Knowledge?
Yes.
Okay, I like that answer. Yeah. Do you all agree?
I would agree with that. I think that there are many ways that you can get into mobile for very minimal cost.
Like SMS campaigns?
Right.
Applications also.
Mobile web advertising. Even just doing testing. Testing is a very inexpensive way to get into mobile. But I think it's building the knowledge so that people understand what works and what doesn't work for their particular brand or campaign.
And I think building knowledge also about the consumers, knowing who you want to target, and then also use the tools for reaching that. Who do I want? Is it someone that watches television every day, or is it someone that is on the go and they have the mobile phone with them? Use mobile. If you want to reach someone that is spending a lot of time in front of television, then we should use that.
Okay, so just looking forward, is there any great trend right now in mobile marketing that if people aren't latching onto it, they should be. Like maybe you might say home screen advertising. It's been around for a long time, but it never really took off in my eyes. You know?
And it's certainly, we've seen certainly an increase in advertisers, a tremendous increase in the last year of advertisers wanting to engage in that visual kind of representation on the home screen. And I think it's going to continue to be a challenge, though, because obviously from protecting the consumer experience, you want to make sure that we're not overly bombarding messages to users. So that's always going to be a controlled way of reaching the consumer to make sure that not too many messages are hitting them within a certain period of time.
Do you agree? Do you agree? Yeah. Because then maybe is mobile marketing a gimmick?
I kind of to the point I was before, you cannot avoid it. There's going to be, there are people who don't have, a wireline, right? People who go directly on the wireless.
Africa, for example.
Africa and generationally speaking, also the Y generation and even the whatever next generations are, they're totally native mobile, not even digital, but mobile. And so you will not be able to avoid that. But one thing that the brands should maybe think of is that it must be an integrated marketing campaign, not just mobile or TV and so forth, because you can revitalize your brand by saying, now interact like this desk, interact with me through your phone, but also kind of billboards or maybe there's a sign and you can text something and that kind of reinforces your brand. So maybe that's the integrated approach of things.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think it's a gimmick because again, you have your mobile phone with you the whole time. So if you want to reach people, that's definitely the best tool. But I agree with Desiree. It's creating this 360 view of marketing where you take in and figure out who do you want to market to and who do you want to reach and how do you want to engage them.
Okay. Do you have anything to add, Heather? I know you started off the conversation. Did anything else come up you wanted to point out?
I agree with all of these ladies. It's not a gimmick. It is something that is just, I think, started out and something that will develop into being a very powerful tool for reaching particular demographics and people in a very personalized way.
Okay, fantastic. Well, I think we have gone full circle now as well. We've asked all the questions that we wanted to get out there. Or have I missed something? Is there anything you feel you want to add?
I think I just want to thank you for having us on the show. And I think, for brands to think about creating a one-to-one consumer engagement, I think that's the most important thing, and using the mobile tool can be very powerful.
I agree. I think engagement is absolutely the way forward here.
Right.
And I would also like to add that I think that it's really important for the brands, if they haven't started into mobile, or even if they have, to continue to test in a lot of different ways, because there are so many different things that you can do in mobile. And just because an SMS campaign didn't work, or just because a particular campaign didn't work or didn't give you the kind of return that you thought it would, is not a reason to stop. It's a reason to move forward and continue to expand your learning to find the answer for your particular brand.
Exactly. So don't think of it as a failed attempt. Think of it as a stepping stone to a better and stronger mobile marketing campaign. Fabulous. Thank you so much, ladies.
Thank you.
Thank you. This is Bena Roberts for bnetTV and GoMoNews, and this was the end of our mobile marketing women in wireless panel. Thank you.